Hi, I'm in Kibbutz Amir near Kiryat Shimona in the north of Israel, and I'm with Nomi, who lives in Kfar Aza, and many of you will know Nomi. Nomi has faced rocket fire for 12 years now and has tried to protect her family from terrorist attacks in the kibbutz, during which a close friend has died, and she's faced many traumas. But in this last week, Nomi has had to flee from Kfar Aza to get away from the extreme rocket fire from terrorists based in Gaza. So I'll let Nomi tell you a little bit more about that as I welcome her. Nomi, welcome. Thank you for speaking to us today.
Thank you for being here, Mike, and listen.
Thank you.
It's very important. I want to say to everybody, I think the most important thing that no matter what I'll tell you, no matter what I say, no matter what I'll paint you a picture and you'll try to imagine, you can't. You can't. A foreign, an outsider can't understand it. Only people who lived in the area, in the surrounding of Gaza, can understand what is the meaning of facing every day a rocket, facing every day your security, your children, your house, your animals. Nothing is safe and nothing is protected. And yet, this is the way I've been living with my family for the last 12 years. The last escalation was so bad. I think the last 12 years I tried to be strong and protect my children and go on living, doing the best I can. But I think the last escalation just took away all my courage. It was so bad and it was so terrifying. The day started on Wednesday. It started like everything was fire and smoke and bombing, and red alert siren went on, and you can hear the whistles, and you are with 3 children inside the shelter room, and you're trying to give them your support and trying to give them your comfort, but you can't comfort them. What can you say? What can you explain to your children who are sitting for 24 hours or 48 hours or a week inside the shelter and can't get outside their home, their kindergarten? We can't go outside to work. We can't go outside just drinking coffee outside in my sofa, outside in my garden. I can't water the plants. I can't manage like this, and nobody can. I know people think it's an exaggeration, and maybe people are trying to give a picture not quite as the reality, but I want to assure you the reality is much worse than my stories. I want to tell you about my children. I have 4 children. The oldest is in the army. She's a soldier. And I have a 17-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl, and my youngest is 20 months. And last time, a month ago, the last time there was another round of attack, my child just completely lost it. 12 years she was born to this reality. She doesn't know another reality. She doesn't know what is a living without the red alert. She doesn't know what is the meaning of living peacefully without being afraid of your life. And she just fell apart. She felt physically sick. She had dizziness, and she fainted and felt sick with her stomach, and was running to the toilet every time the red alert was on, and it was a lot. She had noises in her ears. She all the time she held her ears and asked for quiet. The only thing we want is peace and quiet, to be able to live a normal life, because this is no normal life. This is not a reality that we are willing to accept. And I know that people outside and abroad think that maybe the IDF is too cruel or something like that, but I want to tell you a situation. I live inside the borders of Israel. I'm not living in an occupation territory. This is my house, this is the kibbutz, this is a very, in normal days it's supposed to be a peaceful and quiet and a heaven place to raise your children, because you can send your children outside, they can play, they can wander in the gardens and go to by themselves and be very independent. But now and years ago, it's not possible. It's not happening. Children are not staying away from their houses. They are not going by themselves. They are not independent. My child won't go inside the bathroom to take a shower by herself. Even in quiet days when they are not bombing, she asks us to be outside, and the door is always open. She is a teenager and she is starting to develop, but she doesn't care, she doesn't mind. She only wants somebody to be with her. And there are days that she refuses to go inside the shower. She refuses to be left alone in the house. She refuses to stay a minute in a room inside the house when I'm in the other room. She started to, the last month, she started to receive psychological help, and because I couldn't help her anymore. I couldn't reassure her. I couldn't comfort her, because I can't comfort myself. I can't find the powers anymore. I believe that the people in Gaza feel the same. They are terrifying and they are suffering, but they need to take an action. They need to say no more. They need not to bring inside their houses terrorists who shoots rockets and katyushas and all sorts of ammunition towards our countries, our cities. They have to take the responsibility also. I took a responsibility on my children and fled because I couldn't stay there anymore. I will return to Kfar Aza because Kfar Aza is my house, but I now say I don't feel safe. I feel that like when you're a parent, there are something that that the children are expecting from you. The children want you to give the basic things, safety and comfort, and they look at you and they see you as the adult that will protect you. But what can I do when I'm driving in my car with 4 children and the red alert is on? Who is the children who will be safe? Who is the children who will be rescued? Who is the child that I will take first? Is it the older one who can run by himself? Is it the small one who is buttoned with the seatbelt? Will it be the child that is too afraid? What can I do? I don't know if a ceasefire now is a good idea. You can see they are not stop firing. They don't care if it's a school bus. They don't care if it's a school occupied with lots of children. They don't care if it's a house with families with babies. They don't care. They only want us to leave our country, and this is our country. This is Israel, and we want peace and we want quiet, as well as they do, I know. But Gaza is filled with terrorist group. It's full with terrorist group. The terrorists are hiding inside their homes, inside their hospital, inside the ambulances. They are suffering and we are suffering. But I'm, as a mom, is responsible to my children, and I'm telling you the story of my children, and I'm telling you that Orion is my baby is 20 years old, and she's in the past half month she knows what to do when the red alert, when the siren is on. She runs like hell to the shelter room. And some people tell me she's a smart kid, and wow, she's so nice and clever, and I don't take it as a compliment. No children and no age needs to live in such an environment. No children in no age, no adults can live like this and run to shelters every day, and there's no peace and quiet, no safety, and I think I had enough.
I've known you for a long time now, Naomi, and I don't think I've seen you so tired and so stressed, and the children so traumatized.
I think I really the last few days that we fled from our kibbutz, taking a few clothes with us, and just driving like hell to pass the danger zone. Now they are shooting towards Ashdod and Ashkelon and Tel Aviv. Nobody is safe. They are shooting towards they are aiming towards the biggest population in Israel, the largest city. The range is getting better and better, and the only thing they want for a ceasefire is to rearm themselves more and more, and it will be quiet for a couple of days and it will start again. I'm here up north at my sister's house. This feeling is exhausting. This feeling of leaving your house, leaving everything behind, leaving your friends. My husband is in the IDF. He was recruited. The children. It's not like you're living. You're running and you're coming to a cool and a safe place and a quiet place, and everything goes away. It doesn't go away. Every citizen in the surrounding of Gaza carries a big trauma with them. Every citizen, children, small children, adults, elderly, everybody suffers from post-traumatic syndrome. Each person takes it out in some ways. Children are getting back to wet their beds. Children are in psychological therapy for years, trying to relieve their pain and stress. But what can you say to a child that finishes a session with his psychological therapy and comes back home, and all night he spends in the shelter, and all night he is being bombed, and he knows that his best friend's house was ruined the same night, and his best friend's car, his mom's house was ruined, and they are afraid to go outside. It doesn't go away. We come here and every slam of a door, every chair moving, every noise makes us jump, and we react like we are still in the war zone. And I think that when I'll go back home, I'll have a lot of work reorganizing everybody and getting everybody back to the routine, because it's like it's a very mad hour now. The children are outside of their schools, their gardens. They are not coping. This not to do, spending times boring, without friends, without their loved ones, without their home, without their pets. And
now we heard earlier on there was going to be a ceasefire, and then you had a text. What was that text about?
The text was in my kibbutz. We communicate by text messages if the IDF knows that they are supposed to be firing towards our area. They send us text messages to get inside the shelter rooms immediately, and it happens day by day. sometimes you don't reach the shelter room because the bombing already started, and sometimes you hear a bomb, you hear an explosion, and there the fire alarm started. And now the people I left behind in my kibbutz are in the shelter rooms. They are talking about the ceasefire, but in 9 o'clock this evening. But as for my knowledge, until the ceasefire will happen, they will try to hit as many targets as they can, because they know that the Israel government is now promising to start a ceasefire. So they now will try to hit as many targets as they can and have casualties here and say the last word. I know it sounds like a game, but it's really not a funny game, and it's really not a game. It's a Russian roulette, and they are playing with our lives and with our children's lives.
Now tomorrow I'll take you back to Kfar Aza. What do you expect to see tomorrow?
I expect to see. I don't want to. I want to go home. I want to go to my house.
I know there were many houses.
There were a few houses. There were many houses.
Offices. Your husband's office was.
Yes, and I really want to check all is because everybody is busy saving lives. Nobody could spend time and find out what happened to his studio, his office, and I want to check if something was hurt. Last time after the war, the last time we came back home until after a month and a half, and I found the house because of the bombing, and the houses are shaking, and everything was dust inside the house from the ceiling, and everything was covered with cement.
Yes.
And lots of shreds outside the garden because a rocket explode nearby my house, and lots of shreds and lots of a piece of roof was outside. I couldn't get back home immediately. I gave my parents the children, and for a couple of days we cleaned the house and we tried to return, and I imagine that I'll find it the same way now. And I hope everything will be okay and nobody will get hurt.
I think just for the people who are watching, I just wanted to tell them that there are a lot of families who have left Kfar Aza and Sderot and are living in the north, and north of Tel Aviv, north of Jerusalem, and right up here in the north. But their husbands have been drafted into the IDF, and their husbands have the cars. So there are a lot of families that need to make their way back, but have no help and no support. And I just wanted people back home to know that the difficulty is more than just the rockets.
The car is a small problem.
Yes, of course. But
the problem is that when I have a lot of friends, their husband was recruited to the army now because of the situation. Pregnant women with babies, with children, outside of their home, outside of their comfort zone, outside of their wandering the country, feeling thrown out, feeling outside of everything you know, what you know.
You said to me earlier that you felt you were a refugee and you're on control.
This is what I am. I'm a refugee. I'm a refugee. I fled because I was worried and because I was scared about my children. And I am a refugee. I wondered that this last week I'm doing, I took only a few things for myself and for the children, whatever I could take in that stressful hour, and lots of things are missing. So we do laundry and recycle our clothes, and it's cold here, and in the south is warm, and we don't have sufficient clothes or sufficient. All our stuff is over there.
Yes, of course.
It's
Life is there. Yeah. Well,
so it's a blessing, Israeli people up north, and all my friends suggested their homes, and now I'm staying at in my older sister kibbutz, and she's taking care of us, and with great love, and but it's not easy. It's not easy because. It's not like you took a vacation and came to spend the time. You're worried. You're worried about your husband that is in the army. You're worried about the children and what will be in the end. And if they'll cease fire, and they will sign a ceasefire. And when you will go back, and after a week it will start over again. What will be the reaction? What will happen to their soul? What will happen to their mind? What will happen to them when they are now damaged children? Every child in the surrounding of Gaza are damaged. They are damaged, and they grow up to be damaged older people. And we carry it on our back and in our soul. And we try to live a normal life, but it's impossible.
well, Naomi, thank you so much for speaking to me.
Thank
you for the time, and I'm really grateful to you.
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for watching.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, can I just... Oh.
No.